So
we got it. Wait, hey,
Am I allowed to
It'll
be
have
drinking
to
this
know
on
we-
film?
You are.
Yeah.
You are. It's,
okay. But you
gonna
don't
be-
have anything. I'm gonna look like an alcoholic.
Oh no, I have it under the table. I'm like a real alcoholic. See, I have it under
Hiding
the table.
it.
It's hiding.
I see.
Okay, it's hiding in plain sight.
Right. Fabulous.
So we are here with Rainbow.
Hi.
Rainbow.
Me.
Rainbow Chris. Rainbow Chris.
Rainbow Chris. Rainbow Amy.
Amy,
Vanity.
Missy, me.
Yeah. So Rainbow. Where did Rainbow come from?
So Rainbow happened because I showed up to a rehearsal of Evita, which was the very first community theater production I did. It was with Reading Civic Opera Society at the time. That's
Reading
that's how
Civic
long ago
Opera
that
Society.
was.
RCOC.
S.
Roll.
RCOS.
RCO.
Before it was
RCO.
RCT.
I'm dyslexic. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It happens.
Okay.
Yes. So
Close.
There's a lot of those theaters organizations.
There are.
Too
and
many.
Names.
Too many.
Many. So I walked into this rehearsal, and keep in mind, this is my first community theater production after we were in The Sound of Music together. Remember that? The Sound of Music.
Oh, in Why Missing, yes.
At Why Missing, yes.
Yeah.
That was the last
We went to high school together.
We
We'll
did.
get to that detail,
We
but
will.
continue.
last production I ever did with Why Missing,
Mm.
because you know
Nazis
what
don't
happened.
bounce.
We'll get into that story.
Yeah.
So I go into this rehearsal for Evita, decked out in rainbows from head to toe. And one of my friends said, well, Rainbow's here. And it stuck. I was 15 years old.
And you've been wearing rainbows ever since.
Ever since. Well, I was wearing rainbows long before then.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
And
that's
So
how
somebody
Rainbow
gave you the
happened.
name, and then you're just like, oh, Rainbow, here we go. This is it.
It happened. It went from there. And
Yeah.
then we would go out after rehearsals to Brewers. Where I'm wearing Brewers.
Repping.
Hi,
Yeah.
repping
Yeah,
Brewers. Hi, Brewers.
advertising.
Yeah.
They used to have karaoke, and it was the only place open when we were done rehearsals that was still serving food. So we would go to Brewers and sing karaoke, and I always put my name in as Rainbow. So then that's how they started putting up my bar tabs when I was paying. And since then, I've there's been years where I've like not frequented certain places, and I walk in, and they're like, oh, Rainbow's here, and I'm like, okay, here I
Okay.
am. That's how Rainbow happened.
So it just sort of happened. Okay.
It did. It just sort of happened, and it stuck because.
So you've been called Rainbow since before we met, because that was, that was like after high school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
So Rainbow and I went to school together.
We did.
Yeah.
You were a little thing,
And
Little
he was a
lanky
little bit,
thing, and
little
then-
bit taller little thing. That's what he was.
and then he got.
No, the one image I remember of you from high school that's worth recanting. Well, there's two very good ones, but one a detail I don't think I've ever articulated to you.
Oh.
But is what were you like Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat and the talent show in the senior show? Because I was running the stage then, or helping run it.
He was running it.
No, I just the on
You
and
had
off.
that
Don't
shit
sell
down.
yourself
Like that.
short.
But you were backstage, right? And I just saw you like spinning in this like dress thing. I just saw you spinning, and you were just having the best time. You're by yourself.
Wait, what? So
You were getting into it, you know.
Was it senior? It was
senior
the
year.
senior talent. My senior year.
I think so.
It was the talent show.
Yes.
Not the YO Idol thing.
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I did that too. And
Do you remember
had,
the moment
what?
where you're spinning?
No, I do not remember.
Oh,
Probably.
You captured such a-
You had like red hair, right? Like bright red.
Such
hair.
a
No.
tender moment.
What kind of hair did you?
It was my hair.
Was your like
See,
now?
I really wish I would have remembered to bring the DVD to John's birthday party.
Oh well. Well,
'Cause I
maybe
was
Next
gonna do
time.
that.
we'll bring it to my birthday party. It's coming up
Okay.
December.
Yes.
I'm curious what part you both played
I
when
was
you
an
did
extra.
Sound
Oh,
of
no, he-
Music.
What, in the Sound of Music?
Sound of Music when you guys did that at YO. What were your parts?
I was an extra.
You were an extra.
Yeah,
Get
I
outta
was
here.
young. I was noticing.
He was, yes.
Oh, he was the little like
No,
one.
ninth,
He was a
ninth
little
grade, I
thing.
think it was. So you're not allowed to be in the.
He was the pipsqueak. He was coming in. He was fresh
Unless
off
you
the boat.
were part of the Von Trapp family.
Or
Aw.
unless you were like in chorus or something special, and I didn't play that game.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did
yeah,
my
yeah.
own thing.
No, what were you?
It didn't happen then.
You were-
but it
you were-
I was
happened
like
later.
a party member. I was a Nazi in one scene, but not like in the big scene. There was like a different there was a lot of shuffling of things. Remember our riding crop?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys had, but you boasted very good shows. I remember from when I was in high school, because Wilson,
No,
and
I don't.
was in drama club. Well,
I didn't,
we
but-
were a bit competitive a little bit, but you missing folks, you probably didn't even look at the Wilson people. Oh, but the Wilson people were always like,
we had much
why
bigger
am I
fish to fry.
I was totally oblivious because I was
Yeah.
interested in doing far bigger things.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in drama, we did shows, and I had heard yours were
Well, I'll say this:
much
Why
higher
Missing,
production.
Why
value.
Missing and Wilson are the epitome of the red team versus the blue team.
Yeah.
Because Why Missing's blue and Wilson is red, and it's just that type of, you know what I mean?
I don't.
It's just enemies for the sake of being enemies. I had no idea Why Missing was particularly considered held in high regard. You know, because
Kind of,
anytime
I
I
mean,
look back on
people
anything
from
like
Why
from high
Missing
school,
was-
I'm just like, oh my god.
Right?
You know,
Maybe it's
like-
something brought over from my mom's generation, because my mom,
Yeah.
with YMS.
Yeah, your mom went to Why Missing.
And well, Dasha was very like, why missing is tough for the alternative kind of person.
Well,
if you're not fit, but
Yeah,
school
but-
sucks
Yeah,
no matter
so-
what, wherever you go.
So that's a good segue into was high school not a holy name, not at a Catholic school. Anybody can discern how that went.
Right.
We know how that went between us. How was Why Missing in contrast? How was like a public school? Because I could see where it wasn't very inclusive for the alternative type of person, even myself being the artsy person. I was an outsider. I'm not from Why Missing. I'm from Maryland. I'm not even from Pennsylvania. So they look at you differently, or you're looked upon as something different. Was that difficult, or did you just use that against itself?
Once I got to Why Missing, I had no problems because I had teachers who had known me and have been friends with my family since I was born. I had friends who were a year ahead of me or in my class that were lifeguards, football players. Like, if anybody ever gave me a problem at Why Missing, it was dealt with accordingly. Like, they didn't tolerate anything.
That's pretty cool.
And no one really ever gave me too much of a problem. The only instances I can really remember were from like super underclassmen who were still totally immature and thought that they were, big and bad. And I'm like, I could step
It comes with the territory. Is there that sort of like thing? It's just like it's them. It's just boys.
Like,
They kind
totally
of shit.
different.
Is there that?
Yeah, like I'm safe here now.
Sure.
I wasn't safe before because it was everybody my age and older than me. Like, it was not a fun experience. But once I got to Why Missing, I didn't have problems from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and
so Catholic
teachers,
school to public school worked out for you.
It did. And now I'm going to be at Why Missing on Tuesday, speaking to the student body after school.
And
Not
what
the
a
entire student body
it is.
but they finally have a gay straight alliance. They were like the last high school in Berks County to have one, which boggled my mind. And when I found out about that, I made
They're
it
always very
happen.
progressive, but sort of like under the radar.
I totally jumped on it. One of my friends' kids had posted a petition, and I was like, time out. I'm not the only gay student that has been at Why Missing since 2004. That's why? Every other high school in Berks County has a gay straight alliance. Why doesn't Why Missing? So we helped get that. I shared it all over the place. Petition happened. They won. They tried it out. It worked. It's all good. And now I get to go. Like, I remember in 11th and 12th grade, like, when alumni would come back and speak to people, and I'm like, I know who you are, and you went and did the stuff that you want to do, and now you're back here talking to us about you doing all the things you like. Now I'm one of those people, and it's like a super surreal feeling. Like,
is it fulfilling?
Apparently I did something, and I don't know how I did it. I just kept living my life, and
well, that's it.
But
just do it. But that's the last thing.
Like, I don't have, like, any major academic credentials or anything to,
you
like...
don't have to have that.
Like, it's, well, in my experience, at least, I remember these people coming back talking mostly, like, academic-wise, like, this is what we wanted to do, like, all sorts of that stuff. What I'm doing is completely different, like, and it's so cool that I can go back and talk to these kids, like, all these years later.
I remember those too. Those, like, assemblies.
Mm-hmm.
Where
I remember
would,
the
and
PSAs.
you would have, oh my god. Okay, we have to
They
stop
were
talking
worst.
about high school.
Yeah,
we
we're
need
done with the high school thing.
Ask a different question.
Well, okay, so that's a good time.
Mine is,
Like-
so hold on, one more thing.
Yeah.
I was a Nazi in The Sound of Music.
Okay,
I was
thank
also a
you.
guest
Payoff,
at the party scene, whatever.
Uh,
And I only got to sing that one note, the goodbye.
Yeah, same here.
That's the only note I sang in the whole show.
Same here. Goodbye.
That was it. That was the only note I sang in that whole show. And then Faye yelled at me because Nazis don't swish. And
Bounce.
huh?
Bounce. Okay, this is a good story.
Nazis don't swish.
So
Nazis don't
the other story is the one that everybody remembers Chris for is, you know how the Nazis like come into the audience? They're like when the Von Trapps are singing and everything like
Searchlights.
that, you know.
Looking.
And it's like a cool gimmick. And he was a Nazi. He was
For the first time, I was a Nazi. Another time later on,
I
now hate springtime for
he
Hitler.
was Private Fabulous.
I was private something.
He had a sequence swastika on.
It was
oh
not.
my gosh.
It was
You're embellishing.
it was finely tailored.
It was not at all.
It was very good.
There were
looking.
no sequins involved.
Yeah, you have to be
asked for
careful
them.
with him.
You asked for them.
I did
No,
not.
anyway, okay. I'm just building up an image, but building
building
look,
up an image.
Look, an image of you in a Nazi uniform isn't enough for me.
Okay.
Can you imagine? My mind boggles my own mind.
Boggles
Anyway,
your own mind.
so he's in a Nazi uniform, very well fitting, and anyway, in the audience, and the Von Trapps are singing. Was it the Von Trapps singing? And anyway,
And you were bouncing.
he's bouncing up and down to the music, and he's walking on not like doof doof doof. Anyway,
You got in trouble.
no,
for
he
it?
was bouncing.
I did.
He was bouncing a little too much during one of the it was rehearsal,
I was apparently not in character.
and
It was
yeah,
only rehearsal. You didn't even get to.
No,
you were bouncing too much.
yeah, but you were still in the performance.
Somehow.
Yeah, you're still doing
Oh,
it.
good. Okay.
I didn't get kicked out or anything.
No.
Sorry, I was thinking was.
No. Wow, somebody acting too gay in theater. That's getting kicked out for that. That's
What?
mind-boggling. Anyway,
That's mind-boggling.
so, Von Trapps are singing. It's like a dress rehearsal or whatever, and he's bouncing to the music, and then Faye, the director, just shouts out, "Nazis don't bounce!" And of course, everybody loses it because they know who's bouncing, and
There was also the costume fitting scene too, which wasn't a scene. It was just the costume fitting point. Do you not remember that?
in the show.
No.
I'm sorry.
It was not. It was like when we all had to get fitted for our costumes
yeah,
and
So
go out
there we go.
and show Faye our costumes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, yes.
There
yes.
was that whole
Costume
other point
parade.
where
Yeah.
the costume parade was happening, and I put on the Nazi outfit, and I walk out
Parade.
on stage. I mean, we're not rehearsing or anything. I'm just
Yeah,
putting on a
You
costume
just
and
walk out
walking.
as yourself.
And Faye says, "Nazis don't swish." And
I don't remember that.
So she yelled, "Nazis don't swish." So and you have the pleats, those big.
Yeah, it looked like
the hippie
Knickerbockers
pleaty.
or something.
So I grabbed the one and curtsied and went hiya, and skipped off the stage, like it was fun.
It was a hit.
It was a hit.
It was a hit.
Nazis don't bounce. Nazis don't swish.
Yeah.
Which ended my. Thank you, Faye, for ending my career in high school theater, so I could go on.
Thank
to
you
do
for
bigger
ending my
and
military
better things.
career.
You have saved my life.
Oh.
All right.
Thank you, Faye.
Thank you, Faye.
Well, no, if Faye knew, she would never cast you as a Nazi. You should have been the...
I auditioned to be Friedrich, and I auditioned to be Rolf. And I
Yeah.
wasn't old enough to be Rolf, because I was only a sophomore. But I was the perfect age to play Friedrich. Blonde, beautiful.
God damn it,
I could have been
Faye.
Friedrich. But no, we have to cast one of the, 7th graders who don't go to the... Well, no, I guess... No, yeah,
They go to
7th.
school.
They go to school there. 7th graders.
They're still bastards, though.
The kid is too young to be Friedrich. I'm the perfect age to be Friedrich.
He doesn't even know how to spell Friedrich.
Instead,
He
you're a
doesn't even know how to
Nazi, a
spell
bouncing
Friedrich.
Nazi.
So
Anyway.
you're right. Miscast. I mean,
Miscast.
would you rather have in a movie?
Miscast.
If you're into a movie or a theater play, would you rather have a gay Nazi that just takes you totally out of it, or a gay Friedrich? You take the gay Friedrich every time.
It's the easiest to explain, and
You know,
Yeah,
I'm not. Oh, look, that Friedrich is a very good 7th grader.
Friedrich-
I'm not looking at that. You're
Friedrich
right.
doesn't have a love interest in
Bullshit.
the play in the.
Could be anybody.
Friedrich doesn't care. The only person, child-wise, in it's Liesel.
Could be
No
Mother
one
Superior.
cares.
Nobody would know.
No one cares what Friedrich's doing.
No.
No one cares. He could be diddling Rolf on the side.
He did love
Rolf could be after both of them. Unspoken truth of the Sound of Music.
Like side story,
Yeah.
right? You know, good
Uh-huh.
drama there.
Really good.
Good drama there.
Uh-huh.
Write that one down.
Behind
Moving on.
the,
So we have the questionnaires
Oh, yes.
from our wedding,
Yes.
and this was you did one too.
He
You
did.
did yours. We have
You
help.
did do one.
You did.
Oh, yes, I did.
We
Yes,
have help.
yes.
Yeah.
From the
And
wedding.
they were very, very cute. So we did questionnaires at our wedding reception. We got married in Hawaii
Uh-huh.
on a place that's currently filled with lava. It's a volcano.
I think this is where I met you.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it says that you know neither one of us. You met both of us that day. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's
And
funny.
the rest is history.
It
It's
is.
that you said you met us at high school with Andrew, and that was like in a sort of theater sense, performative sense.
Which we
And
had
then we're
just talked about.
sort of still together, oddly enough, in a theater sense again.
Correct.
That's weird.
How did we
RTP.
how did we not stray from what we wanted to do with our lives? That we would get reconnected.
Isn't
I don't
that
know.
cool when you
About-
know what you like?
What? No.
Exactly, but
What?
we've already talked about this on the last one, where it's like
Yeah, that was.
I always felt my sort of path was preordained. You know, like, okay, you're going to be an artist.
Yep.
Or were you always going to be a performer?
Yep. I have said till I'm blue in the face sometimes, I was put on this planet to entertain people, and I'm not going to be happy unless I'm entertaining people.
Hmm.
It's just something I've always been drawn to do, and I'm apparently really good at it, and I'm going to keep doing it for as long as I possibly can.
And you entertain, you do drag performances, you do theater performances.
Drag performances, theater performances, ballet performances.
Ballet
Which
performances.
is ballet.
Which is like kind of a curveball,
Would you-
but not really, because then when you told me you've been doing ballet since you were a kid, or something, like
Not
when did you start?
Kid. I started. I mean, I had taken some dance classes here and there, but nothing ever really serious. The only experience I got through theater and dance was stuff that I did, in high school or community theater wise. There were certain little dance classes I got to take because some of my other friends, older friends, were like there, and I would just go with them, and it was all cool because like the person who was doing the classes was the choreographer for a show that we were in. So, but most of my dance training came from just musical theater rehearsals, like learning new choreography. And
learning
stuff.
on the fly.
Yeah, like.
And you've never gone to school for any.
I went to Kutztown for 2 years, but only have 1 year under my belt because it just wasn't really working. I went to Kutztown for musical theater, and I was the last class that they offered that major to. Now there's apparently not even a theater department at Kutztown anymore, which boggles my mind. I did.
Would you ever complete that?
No, I don't think so.
Money wise.
I mean, why bother at this point, right?
And see, I don't even know. Like I said, thank you to Faye earlier because I felt like she pushed me to go on and pursue bigger and better things like I always wanted to do.
Myself, yes.
And I also don't really know if that was something that this person who was my professor, and also she was my acting professor and academic advisor as well. And when I was like, I'm stuck in these classes with kids who can't really act their way out of a clear plastic bag, and I'm getting A after A after A after A after A, I was so bored. Like, I wasn't learning anything anymore. I wasn't getting cast in anything on campus that was going on. I was just kind of this thing floating around, wondering why I'm here, taking all these other classes that don't interest me and aren't going to have any effect on my life.
See, I admire you leaving that, though. I didn't do that. I've never felt like, not never, but like now I sort of feel like I belong where I belong because I've sort of made that.
Yeah.
But I never really felt like I belonged anywhere, whether that be in my head or for real. Because we grew up in Maryland and I came up here to Pennsylvania, and like I had a southern accent and everything. Like you know my family. It's really weird. You cross the border.
Surprisingly enough, yeah, a half hour south of Lancaster, they have like southern accents and they call themselves rednecks and stuff. I'm like, okay. I did not realize
blow up.
We were that close
washers
to the
and
south.
Dryers in the middle of fields with dynamite and shit. You know,
yeah,
they
but yes, so. You had a little southern accent. That's
so my God, I was endlessly made fun of, but I turned that on its head with like, now I can do accents and stuff like that. So, oh, I get it. You just do this or whatever, you know. You pay attention to people and you mimic them this way or that way. But I admire your courage to leave something. I never did that like with college or academics. I just did my full 4 years and that was it. Now I'm fortunate to have studied abroad and everything, but if I didn't do that, I'd have a very bad taste in my mouth. I'd be more mad at myself than anybody. So you just left and did your own thing.
Basically, I went to my academic advisor and I said, look, I'm bored. And if I want to do what I want to do with my life, I need to go do it. And she said, you'll never make it anywhere. And I said, okay. It's not my fault. The only thing you.
Well, it is a waste of money if you're not going to be learning anything. If it's if you're.
And see,
beyond
she
that,
said you'll
then
never
you're beyond
make it
that.
She said you'll never make it anywhere, and like.
And
I mean, that's fucked up for a person to say in general.
One and two, I have the question of you're getting A after like that means nothing then?
Apparently not.
Did this person give you A's as well?
Yes. I had an A.
What did you say to piss her off then?
I didn't say anything to piss her off. I told her.
Okay.
I told her.
I've never had anybody say that. Like
I told her what I felt I needed to do with my life, like.
Well, I guess because people look down at if you're gonna drop out or you're not gonna seek a degree kind of thing where like a degree is gonna help you succeed more.
I went to some of my other professors in my, under the theater umbrella. I had a dance professor who, this woman has danced all over the world. She's danced for emperors in China. She lived in Africa for years, moving around, studying different tribes and how they move and how they interact with each. Like, this woman was brilliant. And I went to her and I was like, look, this is where I'm at. I gotta go. And she's like, you gotta go. And you have that thing, and if you ever need anything, give me a call. You know how to find me.
Well, that's good.
Like, someone on the level who can see, and then someone who, no offense to teachers out there, but I feel in certain fields, those who can't do, teach. And I feel she was one of those people who had a chip on her shoulder because she never got to do what she wanted to do, aside from being the weather girl on the news. And now she's going to hand kids a book and say, here, read this, now you know how to act. And that's not how acting works. If you don't have some sort of raw talent inside that you can hone skills with, you can't teach somebody how to act. You can't.
Yeah.
It's
impossible. If you're not in the practice of it, you know, it doesn't make sense. Especially if you're not in the practice of it and you've like gone through theater and everything like that. You have a theater degree and everything like that, but you don't have that sort of soul. Mm-hmm. But say somebody's gone through painting school and they have the soul, right, of it, they could probably teach that theater class better than that soulless theater person, because they understand craft.
I want to equivalate it to like The Room. Like,
okay, the movie The Room.
Yes, like people like that in my acting class. Like, there nothing. Like,
that is bullshit. I did not hear. I did not like that. Bad.
Just there was.
But that guy was pursuing acting. Like, there are people that are pursuing acting
those type
need
of
to be told.
They're
saturated field.
There isn't anything here. Like, just and that bothered me a lot. Like, that there was people in an institution teaching children, teaching young adults who are going for something that they want to do for the rest of their life, that they're never going to get a chance to do. Never. Like, and they didn't pull them aside and be like, I think you should look into something else because this isn't going to work out for you. You're wasting your time and your money. People who devote that much time into a career and to get a degree in, like, to do absolutely not. Like,
well, I think that you saw something though where you were in the acting department and you saw these people don't take it seriously. These people aren't going in. What am I doing here?
Exactly.
Yeah, go somewhere with maybe go to an actual acting school, not people that are just trying to take money from people.
Right. Or one with a focus, or something
anyway,
like that, or one that's going to kick your ass and say you're not
good.
Like, because there are ones out there that will say that. There are art schools that say that. I mean, we were part of the sort of generation where it was like, oh, everybody's so good, and you're going to go to art school, and you're going to be a graphic designer, and you're going to be this, and you're going to be that. We were saying earlier, isn't that great that we still do what we want to do? It's really true, and it's a really hard thing to sort of hang on to, whether you're that 100% of the time or that part-time. To be an artist now is a very interesting hybridized kind of thing, and you look at yourself as an artist, right?
Absolutely, in all forms. Well, not all forms, but all forms of the performing arts anyway. Like, I sing, I dance, I act.
You're a triple threat.
I can be a different gender. Well, I can look like a different gender. I can't actually physically become a different gender.
You're not a frog.
Yeah,
it's not biologically possible.
It's not very easy.
It's
I can't turn me insides out and me outsides in, can I?
It's not easy being green.
No, it isn't.
Your talent only gets you so far.
It does.
But
your talent only gets you so
Would you
far.
say determination is far more important than talent?
I mean,
connections, right?
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't...
But that's with hard work.
But there's determination right there. Determination's a much wider road, I think.
You just keep doing what you want to do, and people in the know see that, and you just keep going.
And being available, especially being an actor and a performer, the availability of it is probably the most key thing.
I've had the busiest year of my life this year. Like,
I'm sure.
I'm exhausted, and I've still got stuff to do.
Yeah, you got Christmas
through Christmas. Like, And
Martin Luther King Day's coming up.
okay, no.
It was just daylight savings time. Oh my God, what a holiday!
What a
barn burner!
That whole extra hour. I've always had that drive to just I have to be doing something.
Always, even as a kid.
Yep.
I was always sort of a performer as a kid, and always a ham and in plays and doing the sets and not even really realizing it. But you're that and then you become that kid, right? You're the kid that can you draw my project for me real quick, or can you draw this out?
Well, see, you are a completely different entity. Like,
I am an entity.
I'm aware of that. That's why I just said that.
Yeah, well,
you literally do.
You're a triple threat.
I've just got maybe 3 or 4 things. Like, you have literal diarrhea of
a breadth.
That's a nicer word than diarrhea.
A breadth of talent, but determination as well, which is probably the most important thing. I think
exhausting determination.
Exhausting. But that's how you get podcasts done. That's how you get art and paintings done. You have a clothing business. That's how you're always working at something.
Yes, I know.
Always
That's what gets you in trouble. You turn your passion or like your creativity into a career or a business, and then you can always be doing something to like when you're your own boss. You could always be doing something, and then like when you're not, you like are feeling guilty that you're not working on your business. I don't know
anything about that.
Or your career of
It gets so bad where you're like in the middle of a movie
for jobs
and you're like I could be doing something. Or,
yeah.
I could be drawing that out or I could be doing that.
Now, I literally have to talk myself into not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like there are days where I have gone on end from one thing to the next, and I wake up. Well,
you were at 2 rehearsals before you came here, right?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
A double header. A Paolini double header.
Triple.
I keep going at it day after day after day after day, and I wake up and I'm like, all right, I have to take care of.
Take care of you.
Well, yes, exactly. So, like, prime example, Monday, I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna get all sorts of shit done today, and I started doing some stuff. And I looked around and I said, no, not today.
And then I fell asleep in the hamper.
Almost. I made it back into the bed. I was going to change the sheets from my regular sheets to the soft, fluffy, fleecy, woolly, warm, cozy.
Into your winter sheets.
The winter sheets.
Turning over
I'm changing over
winter
my bed.
sheets.
I didn't even do that.
Ooh.
I just threw on extra blankets and crawled back in bed and said, shut the fuck up.
That is very important. We sort of had that type of day to day. I know you didn't, and I'm not showing off, but we were in nature in a very bucolic setting.
Is that
He's trying to teach me words. Bucolic.
Well, you asked me to teach you words.
I asked him.
Bucolic means
bucolic.
Surrounded by wilderness. When you're in the woods,
very
it's a bucolic
Robert
setting. When you're in well, it was quite warm. Robert wasn't out that day. But yes, we were at Hawk Mountain. It was a very gorgeous day.
I haven't
Fall
been there
has
in
been
so long.
Wonderful.
I've been telling him about it.
You've been telling him about the fall?
The leaves are peaking, yo.
Yeah.
They're peaking. They are on acid like a motherfucker.
They are so beautiful up there.
So I think that's good. Unless you have any questions or any comments that you didn't really feel like
questions, comments, concerns.
I don't know. We just fucking rambled on.
We did really ramble on. There was really no. We touched upon really interesting things, though. We touched upon your sort of formative years and why you do things, negative and positive. And teachers, mentors have really been important to you.
Or the anti-mentor.
Well, that's that. But yes, but that.
The
I mean,
nemesis, the theater nemesis.
but isn't that you would say that is good for you?
It's motivation.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, it sucks, sure. You
there.
know, you don't
Well,
The nemesis is the best motivation.
the positive influence I did have in high school, like, I mean, Faye wasn't a horrible person. Like, she just, I felt like, I don't know if she did it consciously or unconsciously, but, like, I was like, well, I'm done with high school theater. I'm going to do what I want to do. But I had other teachers at high school who constantly pushed me to do all of that shit that I wanted to fucking do.
That's great.
And honed it and made it happen even in the high school. Like, I wouldn't have been in drag on the stage for senior year skit shit if, like...
It's inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
Certain people weren't like, oh, well, guess what? It's happening. You know?
That surprises me, too, that they wouldn't have... I mean, not to talk shit, but that they wouldn't have the gay alliance thing until now, when you were on the frickin' stage in high school in drag.
Yeah.
And they haven't started... They just started
Berks
doing it
County
now.
had
Come
one
on,
gay
people.
straight alliance, and it was at Reading High School. The GSA at Reading High, and then if you wanted to be a part of it, you went from your own respective high school to go up there and be a part of stuff. So...
Mm-hmm. It was a different time though. Then you had voices in the paper. There was different media at that
How
time.
I came out. That's a whole other fun.
Well, that's another podcast.
It's
in and of
another
itself.
whole.
This one's
podcast.
ending
This
right
one's
now.
gotta stop.
This is Rainbow's formative years. The rain cloud
of. Yes.
Yeah, you'll have to come back and we'll try to talk more art,
I'm
more drag.
And then we'll talk about the salacious part, the breaking of the rainbow.
Oh my.
Yes. We'll build suspense.
Ooh.
And then it'll be a trilogy, the breaking of the rainbow, and then the gold at the end of the rainbow. So it's got a happy ending, maybe.
Oh. Well, it
Could be haunted gold though.
To be continued.
Yeah. This is gonna be a theater piece.
TBT.
I'm gonna write it for you. Okay?
I've been.
I'm gonna write a theater cycle for
Oh,
you.
and
I've been
you
writing
should
it.
be in one of our sketches too.
I've been writing my whole there will be a musical of my life one day. It will be called Rainbows Cry 2.
Oh, so it's not a sequel.
Well, don't
It's
you know?
Rainbows Cry
This
as
is
well.
okay. So
Maybe you should say
trademarked.
that.
As well.
Yeah, it's got a better ring to it. Rainbows Cry as well. Rainbows Cry as well.
It's too wordy.
Rainbows Cry 2. The Reckoning.
TOO.
Yeah, everybody's gonna make fun of it
Rainbows Cry
though.
2.
You know, it sounds like Demolition Man. You know.
Well, I
Well,
think
I
it's
can't call it
important.
It's gonna Stallone is gonna be in that movie.
He will not be. He will not be.
Rainbows Cry too.
Yeah. No.
I cry all the time.
Copyright.
I would.
Title
I would
in
watch
the works.
that. I would watch that. Okay, I'm being too goofy now. I will. We'll sign off now. Thank you.
Goofy.
Yeah, I know, right? To now.
Now.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Rainbow, Chris Rainbow, just Rainbow. You're fabulous. Thank you so much for doing this and being part of this and being honest and candid. I know you would be. So.
You're welcome.
Next time you can dress up a little bit.
Wrong. Yes, I will actually.
You'll know that it's actually on film.
I will be aware the next time that I'll be on film and won't have a giant zit in the middle of my forehead.
I have one too. We match.
Yeah.
We match.
Well, he needs to be he needs to let
It's
people
not
know.
over there. And yours is barely visible.
Okay. Well, you know, thank you.
Where's our makeup person? Wardrobe, makeup, and
We need
Powder!
Powder. Last looks. Gotta fly away here. Okay.
Hairspray.
Cool. Thank you very much. And we can cut.
you.
Thank you.